Welcome, everybody, to Fandom Nights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. I'm Chris.
I'm Dustin.
And I'm Sherman.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Today we're talking about...
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Today we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 2, Chepisode 10, The Library. It was released on July 14th, 2006. And, yeah, Dustin, take us through the story.
Alright. Well, it starts off with Aang starting his orchestra of prairie dogs, or what do they call it, Sherman?
You know, they're actually just gophers.
Alright,
Gophers.
gophers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I call them prairie dogs too, but yeah. But yeah, they didn't have any mixed... that was the only creature, really, I saw. Well, other than there was wolves, or foxes.
Foxes.
The prairie dogs, and then the owl, which was the spirit more than anything else. But, yeah.
We saw the lion turtles, too.
Yeah, we saw them.
Our flashback, right.
Yeah. I like that they're doing mini vacations. Like,
Right.
I actually put down in creatures. Lion turtles!
Nice.
So yeah, the gang is making plans for everyone to have a little mini vacation, and so Katara was up next to decide on her mini vacation, and she chose the Misty Palm Oasis, which, if you guys don't know, is in Legend of Korra. Remember?
Oh, really?
It's in season 4 when they're chasing some person that's working with Kuvera,
Okay.
and they go to the Misty Palms
It's
Oasis.
the natural ice springs, right? Which was kind of cool. But...
And he was like, "Yeah, I must have changed ownership. Wasn't that been here?" It's like, "Yep."
Well, they're chopping down the ice to make those little cups over and over again.
Yeah, no kidding.
Capitalism, man.
Once they get to the Misty Palms Oasis, though, the gang meets a traveler or professor who tells them about Wan Chi Tong's library that holds a vast collection of knowledge.
Professor Zay?
Zay.
Yeah.
And Sokka was up next to pick his mini vacation, so he chose the library!
Did you spend my vacation? That was awesome.
So the professor asks, or he was like amazed that Aang had a sky bison.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the sky bison, and so Sokka's like,
Or no,
would you like to see?
He's like, we're gonna go to the library. Well, I've ventured into the desert hundreds of times or whatever, and I've never found it. Let me take you to our sky bison.
The professor asks Appa if he's the last of his kind, and Appa growls, and then the professor says, "Delightful." So I got the hint meaning of like, Appa said, "No, I'm not the last of my
Well,
kind."
but then he also says, "Delightful. I wish that I spoke your language." Like, so he says
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He says that he doesn't understand him. He's just like, "This is great."
He's literally just...
I heard a sky bison growl at me.
He's like, just information. Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
I don't know what it means, but
he isn't the last of his kind, which is cool. So.
Yeah. Have we seen sky bison
In the graphic
yet?
novels.
I know, but yet.
Only in flashbacks.
Oh, I know. So, okay. So the only time we see that there's other sky bisons still alive is in the graphic novels?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Even
and in
after this
Korra.
episode. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Cool. I'm glad they didn't kill him off.
So they're flying in the fly bison, and they're trying to find the library in the middle of the desert, and they think it would be so easy to see because of how massive it is or whatever. And then Toph is like, "It's over there!"
There it is! I love everyone believes her.
And everyone's like, "Where? Where?"
It's like, that's what it'll sound like when you guys do see it.
Goes all John Cena on me. You can't see me. And so the gang eventually finds the tip top of the library and discovered that it's been buried in the sand, like the entire thing.
Did the owl... No, the owl didn't say that he buried it yet. It's just been covered by the sand, right? At this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who knows if he didn't sink it if other travelers came.
Right, yeah.
Maybe he sunk it after Zhao left.
Yeah. But, yeah, who knows? Maybe it's just poking up because the sand parted or something, but... There's a story that I just heard this last week about this Lenin statue in Antarctica. It's like the most inaccessible point in the world, and Russia went down there and put the statue of Lenin, and it's slowly been getting covered by the ice, so right now all you can see is like his shoulders. So it just reminded me of this episode, how the sand's kind of taking this thing over.
So the gang finds the library, but Toph does not want to go inside because she can't feel the ground. and she doesn't really care for the books either.
Wait, yeah, she's just like, I can't read, so it's
Yeah.
literally going to do me no good.
Right.
I've held them. They don't do much.
Yeah.
Aang discovers a book about lion turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was pretty
I
interesting.
put down a what did I put down a note on this one? Avatar 1 question mark, because like there's a single guy standing in front of that lion turtle,
Oh.
so like hinting at like
That'd be cool.
I like when they go into the library, he's like, look at those beautiful buttresses. And everyone laughs. We're just excited about architecture, as am I.
The gang discovers a planetarium that uncovers an eclipse that they need to tell the Earth King about. But Wan Chi Tong discovers that they lied about, like, not manipulating his knowledge or whatever.
Mhm.
So then the owl person starts chasing everyone out.
Yeah, because they go in there and they're trying to find the darkest day or whatever in the Earth Kingdom, and they find out that there's another solar eclipse coming, and then that's when the owl turns crazy, and the owl is not happy. And like he turns into like a mix between an owl and like a dragon almost, because his neck gets longer and longer, and he just more.
there's a reason for that though.
Oh, there is. Okay, what is it?
So he becomes more serpentine because in a lot of like mythologies and folklore, owls and serpents are both represented as like knowledge,
Oh,
creatures of vast knowledge.
okay. So there is a reason why he's a mix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's just the longer his neck got, the scarier it was. And owls are kind of like that. Like, owls do have kind of longer necks than you think that they do.
Dude, they've got weirder bodies than you think they do.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen one like with its like when it like legs fully like extend and like their legs are like so like you hold it like this, but their legs will like drop like this far down.
Yeah.
They're just like
I saw a picture.
They're almost
it,
like squatting.
It was actually like
Yeah, they
yesterday
really are.
where I saw a picture of an owl sitting on the ground and someone lifted up the feathers and the owl was sitting like cross-legged. It was like in the post it was like, I didn't know owls sat crisscross applesauce. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, so the gang discovers, or the gang, they kind of split up once Wan Chi Tan is chasing them or whatever. Sokka and Aang decide to go back into the planetarium and find out when the next solar eclipse is going to happen before Sozin's comet.
Oh, there's a cool scene here where Aang like pulled the professor, because the professor was trying to like appease the spirit or whatever, and instead of like pushing him away, he like had to like suck him towards him, so he like lowered the air pressure and just like it was just a cool use of airbending right there. And then Sokka's like, you go take Momo outside, like he's just worried about Momo. And I told Rosie we were watching it together, I'm like, oh, and he just, who cares about the professor, I guess. And the professor's like, or someone says like, what about professor? It was just funny because Rosie just said it and then they're like, what about the professor?
Yeah, so I think it was, Katara and Sokka were climbing up the rope or whatever, and then they were looking back, and the professor was still there reading a bunch of books.
Yeah.
And like, you coming? He's like, I searched my entire life looking for this library. Like, I'm gonna stay here until I die.
I can't. And
I
he
need
does.
the knowledge.
And he does.
Because
like,
in the Legend of Korra, when they go to Wan Chi Tong's library, they pan to a shot of a
you
bunch
see
of
this
bones.
guy's skeleton.
You see
You
this
do?
guy's
Yeah.
skeleton.
oh my gosh. Was he in the same spot? Like right
No,
in the
no,
entrance
but-
area
No, but
there?
like
He was still
Same
surrounded by a
outfit.
bunch of books and had the same
Really?
outfit around his corpse. Or
sad,
bones.
but I mean, he got what he wanted, I guess. But man,
downside is imagine like the rest of his life is really probably like the next like week.
Oh yeah, you can only
Right.
survive like
Yeah,
a
you
week
don't
or
have
two without
food.
eating. Or a
I
month
suppose
or
the
whatever.
foxes will give you some meat, or I don't know.
No, because they wanted meat from Sokka.
Oh yeah.
They're not
No,
going to bring extra food
I
for.
meant the foxes you could eat. No, I mean, it's not good, but there's animals in there you can eat.
Mm-mm.
You couldn't eat foxes.
They're not foxes.
What are they?
They're spirits.
The foxes are spirits too?
Yeah, I put down
Oh.
real creatures, but they're not because they're technically spirits.
Oh.
They work for Wan Chi Tong.
Okay.
Yeah, they go out in the world and grab scrolls and stuff and bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring back knowledge.
That's what happened in my lost book. I'm looking for that thing.
So Wan Chi Tan starts. I think he was either earthbending or airbending of some sort, and he's bringing down the library. Because he starts swirling air and stuff or something, and then the whole thing keeps crashing down. Like, he's got to be earthbending or doing some kind of something to make the whole library sink down.
He's a spirit though, so it's more like spirits just doing something.
And it's questionable because when Katara like tries to like fight him, he's like, "Oh, I've studied
northern style, southern style, and foggy swamp.
Foggy swamp style."
Yeah.
And that's, I love that because Sokka like hits him with a book.
Can spirit? Can
I thought he hit
spirits
him with
bend?
a boomerang.
Oh well, he hit him and then he's like, "That's Sokka style. Learn that.
Yeah.
Learn that."
Can any spirits bend? Has that been ever seen?
Well, Moonlock, remember, he combines with the Dark Avatar and he still bends.
Yeah.
Combines with the Avatar though.
With the Dark Avatar.
In
Moonlock, Korra.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't count it as bending, but it's kind of an animal, so I don't know. Yeah, interesting.
I don't know.
So this is where they find that the eclipse is happening, and I did have a question about the eclipse.
Yeah.
So eclipses only happen in one area, you know what I mean, or along a line in the world. So how do they know? Like, where is that where's the library in the grand scheme of the world? Like, if you went way up to the Northern Water Tribe, there wouldn't be an eclipse up there if there was one down in the Fire Nation.
So this is actually something I saw online about this, because that point specifically, this library and this like lunar calendar proves that in this universe, the moon and the sun don't operate on the same planes.
Oh, as they do in our universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I thought we weren't applying real world.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
It's a
Like,
legit question.
That's why it proves that, like, for this one, like, that it would happen everywhere.
It would cover the entire planet, essentially, instead of just one area.
The entire planet. So the moon must be in this universe, like way bigger or something, or something.
Or just the scale. It's just, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the Earth is smaller. I don't know. Interesting. I think you brought up that point in some other episode where you're like, yeah, when they get to the library, like this proves that something happens, because that's when we were really. That's in a way previous episode where we were really debating the realism of stuff, and you're like, just wait till we get to the library episode. So
maybe I don't know.
Yeah. So Toph is out. So Wan Shi Tan starts making the library sink or whatever, and Toph starts to notice that, and so she has to, start doing what she can to hold the building up or whatever. But then she starts feeling and hearing like people coming, those sandbenders coming to try to take Appa, and so she has to make a decision of trying to save friends or save Appa, and so she chose to save her friends, and Appa gets taken.
Not without trying.
She shoots blindly.
Yeah.
Which would suck.
That was a really good scene. Just she can't see, she can't feel, and she's trying her best to do everything in that situation. And if this was on normal land, she'd be unstoppable. She would have been able to take him out instantly. Everything would be saved. But she's like even more weak, and like it was like heartbreaking almost to see her just like try to save everybody but fail because she can't see. And I don't know. And then, man, at the end, the "Where's Appa" thing, and Aang just like starts tearing up. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like that one line made this episode for me. Like the acting was amazing. All this stuff was amazing because like the emotion behind that from like how old was the voice actor in this? 12 or something. Like, whoa! I felt that when you said that. Maybe just because I have a connection with Appa and the whole gang right now, but I felt.
I think
that
he's like
line.
13 at this point, but still,
Yeah, it was good.
Huh. So Aang got back up to the surface and asked about Appa, and Toph just kind of didn't really answer, I guess.
Yeah.
Just kind of told him like
I think they have the conversation in the beginning of the next episode. Yeah, but in this one it just ends with, "Wait, where's Appa?" And it just I don't know, right in the feels.
Right.
Yes, indeed. That's all I got.
Yeah. Sherman, what do you got?
So a couple, little trivia. Did you know that Wan Shi Tong translates from Chinese?
No.
Into actually "He who knows 10,000 things."
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wan Shi Tong. He who knows 10,000 things.
And when he said that, I'm like, only 10,000. Like,
I know,
mean,
you've got this vast library.
It's a lot of things to know, but like I feel like if I really took the time to list out all the things I know, it'd probably be more. I don't know. I wonder how many things people could know. Yeah.
Well, considering like just like us individually.
Yeah.
Like, you know how I am with like music lyrics and
yeah. And
random like movie TV like stuff, which I think it like makes my stutter like worse the more I go through things, because like if I don't think about it, I have no problem like just spewing facts, but like when I sit there and think about it, like I'm just like my brain's going, but like my mouth just doesn't know how to like get it out.
Most adult native speakers know between 20,000 and 35,000 words. So just words. If we're talking about just a word,
but like so like not words, because like he specifically asks for like knowledge.
Yeah.
Like so I would
so
imagine.
You're thinking like 10,000 things, or like there's 10,000 things in this library.
Well, I mean, the funny. I don't think he knows everything in his own library. That's. Like that's why like he keeps having like, if he has his foxes like his knowledge seekers keep bringing him new stuff, like all the time.
You can't just keep. I am Wang Tan, he who knows 10,563 things. Like you can't just keep changing the number.
Yeah, I think it's him just.
It's just hey, flexing. I know a lot, bro.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's just a.
He who knows everything, essentially.
Right.
Because 10,000 is a big number.
The Library of Congress has more than 16 million books. Whoa. So I would imagine this is way bigger than the Library of Congress.
We gotta find the president's book in there, man.
Also, not only that, you gotta remember that in Korra, you find out that like some of his information isn't correct either.
Oh. Okay.
Because like, Korra's like, oh, like I heard, or he's like, well, you're supposed to bring me like some new piece of information. Yeah. She's like, do you know how radios work? And he's like, yeah, there's a tiny little man who sits in the box and tells you the information. She's like, actually, no, it's radio waves, and like, and he's like, oh, I've been fed misinformation. And looks at one of his foxes, and he's like,
and the fox is like,
yeah, it's like, oh shit.
I'm dinner tonight. There was like a couple foxes in Avatar, and now in Korra there's only one.
Oh!
He gets hungry.
Do we see a couple in this episode of the library? I know we see one.
It's hard to tell if it's the same one over and over or not. True. Yeah.
More of a joke.
Okay.
Didn't mean to.
I was like, no, I think there's only one. You got anything else for?
So cast for this, so good. And I looked up. So first off, Wan Chi-tong is Hector Elizondo from Last Man Standing, Pretty Woman. What's the other one you mentioned?
I don't mention that.
No, you mentioned another thing. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
However, Professor Zayd, so the guy who's like, no, I'll just stay behind. Is voiced by Raphael Sbarge. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's literally S. Barge. Did you guys ever watch Once Upon a Time?
The show?
Yeah.
I've seen an episode here or there, but not.
So he plays his most recurring role is from that show, where he plays Jiminy Cricket.
Oh.
However, I looked at this guy's essentially filmography here. So he has been in every single different version of CSI and CIS.
Whoa.
He's been in 4 different versions of Law and Order. Different character in every episode. He's not like
just
the same.
The random dead body or random background character or something.
So I'm pretty sure he's just on file for CBS, or just all right, we need a random dude, random white man. Here you go.
Okay.
Because he's Criminal Minds, regular and suspect behavior, Elementary, Hawaii 5-0, Without a Trace, True Crime, Cold Case.
Weird.
Mentalist, Numbers.
Every kind of crime show.
Every crime show known to man.
He's just like that background character, and that's kind of what he is in this, too.
And I'm not even kidding, it goes back to, Crossing Jordan and, NYPD Blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. He has a thing for crime dramas.
Apparently.
Wow.
He's just quite never got his break.
He does some voice acting, though, because he's done voice acting for the video game Well, the video game for Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh.
Who do you play there?
Darth something, I can't remember.
I just saw that Knights of the Old Republic is available on iOS to play. Like, if you want to play it, like
yeah, just gotta buy it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird to play on an iPhone. But all right, so for bending numbers in this episode, we didn't have any of water, which was interesting. But
Katara didn't even attempt.
No. No.
You know, because she was about to. She like pauses.
And she was gonna, but then he's like, "I've studied all these other things." Yep. And then there was 24 of earth, 0 of fire, and 6 of air. So it wasn't all that much in this episode. Just a lot of reading.
Sounds good.
All right. So, do you guys got anything else in this episode? Should we rate it?
Go for it.
What do you think of the story arc in this one, Dustin?
It was good. I'll
Yeah.
give it a 9.
9. How about the execution?
9.
9. The writing?
9, sure.
9.
I really don't have anything on it, so.
Yeah. No, well, do you think it was... If it was average, it would be like a 7.
It's a good story. I don't know.
Yeah, good story. 9. Delivery, I'm going to say a 9 on that one as well, because it was decent up until the very end, and then it was like exceptional, I feel like. So, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to say an 8 on that one, because except for that one ending scene, it was just normal. Believability, action, so where they were, the environment and all that stuff, I'd give that a 8. You couldn't really tell where they were in the library. Like, they go down, but then it's like, which way is the planetarium thing? It seemed like it was that way first. I don't know.
I don't think it plays an important role, though.
No, yeah. Believability, character development and all that stuff. Nothing good or bad, so I'm going to say 7. So, Sherman?
Hold on real quick. It was, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Mm-hmm. And he plays Karth Onasi.
Is it Darth Karth?
No, it says Karth. I'd rather just read it as Darth originally.
Weird.
Karth Onasi.
Yeah.
I wonder if he plays the guy with the dual pistols then.
I don't know. I never played him. Sherman, what did you think of the sounds and the score and effects and mix and all that stuff?
I thought it was awesome. Specifically, I gave it a 9 for the sound.
Okay.
So the score, I loved especially when Sokka and Aang are in the lunar calendar room, and he's like shifting it. Yeah. Did you know that's like the actual Chinese calendar, by the way?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like cool. the final ring at the very end, you actually see like the Chinese zodiac.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like spot on for like just the intensity for like we need to figure this out. Like,
yeah.
Visuals, I gave it an 8. I think it was excellent focus on like while they were like framing everything, like they gave like everybody who was talking like the right kind of like amount of time.
Okay.
Editing, however, this is why I gave it an 8, because even though they gave like really good attention like early on, because every time like Toph has her feet up, you can see that they're dirty.
Yeah.
However, they're like big issue with how like the library setup was, because in the initial scene when they come down like on the rope, they're on a cross path like this.
Okay.
But when they're leaving, it's just an individual line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where'd the other like cross like walkway go?
Right.
For effects, I gave it a 9. As like the desert itself and like the library.
Effects, you gave it a 9? Okay.
Yeah. The library, besides like the one editing issue, I thought was just gorgeous. Scrolls and smoothies, the attention to detail on like the all the props, and then the kind of cheesy effects for like when they're like in the misty palms and like going down into the library. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So what do we want to rate this episode overall?
I personally gave it a 9.
9. I think it was really good. It set up a lot of stuff for the future. Had a good basic story. No one really like grew or anything crazy, but yeah, I think I'd be fine with a 9 overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so this one was a tough one because it's set up because, did you saw the time, like the date that this one was released, right?
Yeah, July 14th.
So the next one was also released on the same day. Because when they were originally aired,
Right.
which is why I earlier when I was telling you about how like Zuko and Iroh show up on the cast list for this episode, but they're never in the episode because this episode originally didn't air as a single episode.
Oh.
It was a 1-hour special, specifically
okay.
called "The Fury of Aang."
Whoa. Okay. 0.5.
Makes sense.
Right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, definitely. Because you get that build up in this episode, and then like the next, whoa,
The next one, his anger just keeps going
just
up
oh
even
my
more.
gosh,
Yeah.
And then he goes sicko mode.
goes bananas.
So
What are you doing over there?
I'm doing math.
Yeah.
Looks like we gave it a
Watch unmuted.
7.8. But yeah, okay. That's what we got for this episode. Dustin, you want to take us out?
Sure. Well, thank you guys for watching this Chepisode of Fandom Nights. If you'd like to become a Fandom Night, please check us out on Facebook, join our group on Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Spotify, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So that's all we got for us. So, Appa.
Yep.